welcome everyone to the Find Yourself podcast through Entrepreneurship. I'm your host Dara. Here with me, Miss Srour SorkunThika. She's the owner of FarmHero, which is a business that help to make solution for the agricultural sector in Cambodia as well. Greeting, Bong. Yes. So Bong, I know that I'm interesting at your startup. I heard that this FarmHero is a startup. So what is your story behind it? What inspired you to create FarmHero? What is the story? Yeah.
Okay, so hello Dara, thank you for having me here.
Yes, Bong.
Just a little bit about myself first.
Yeah.
My name is Thika, and I'm the co-founder actually and CEO of FarmHero. So FarmHero is an agri-tech startup
Yeah.
that brings affordable agricultural equipment services for smallholder farmers. And our platform and innovative business model also allow the tractor owner or equipment owner
Yep.
to get more booking outside of their village and also increase their profit margin. So that is FarmHero in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Regarding my journey, why I started FarmHero, when I graduated in 2017, my career was around development sector. I worked in development sector for 5 years. But then my last 3 years was related to agriculture sector. I worked for Swiss contract Cambodia. So that's when I built my interest in agriculture sector. I learned about the farmer problem in the space because one of our focus was getting agricultural equipment for the smallholder farmer and also promote conservation agriculture sector. So after working for 3 years, I was thinking that it's time for me to develop myself. I need some personal growth. So I decided to apply for Australian Award Scholarship. Luckily got selected to pursue my master degree on Entrepreneurship and Innovation at the University of Queensland in Australia. So during my degree, I keep reflecting back to the problem that I experienced back home, which is around agriculture sector, what the problem that farmers are facing. So then during my second semester, I joined a UQ Venture Validate, where I start to validate the problem, talking to the customer. So it's fair to say that starting FarmHero, it has been a long journey. I built my interest in agriculture sector, wanting to solve this problem and help to, get the knowledge in entrepreneurship and innovation that give me a boost to start this FarmHero with my co-founder.
Right. So for FarmHero, it is a agricultural startup, right? So what do you think and see are the difference between starting agricultural business or startup with other sector? Like, what is the unique thing about it?
One reason is, I think it's because Cambodia is like agrarian society, and we've been really relying on agriculture sector. And agriculture sector has a lot of potential.
Yes.
Even like during COVID, all the sector collapsed, but agriculture, right? Everyone needs foods.
Right.
And majority of our people live in rural area. So there's a huge market for agriculture sector itself. And in terms of agri-tech, I think it's still new in the space.
Right.
There are few agri-tech startups in Cambodia.
Right.
So I think when we jump into the space, I think FarmHero has this advantage of being like the first mover in, let's say, a blue, but more blue ocean, which we can venture into and has a very huge potential.
I see. What do you say are the obstacles when you start FarmHero? Yeah. See.
I believe there are a lot of obstacles and also challenges. I think first of all is me myself, because I have to be convinced about this whole journey. Right. Because there are a lot of uncertainty. There are a lot of risks that come when starting a startup.
Yes.
So one of the challenges, me myself, to really believe in the journey itself,
Right.
and to have the mindset that I'm going to face some obstacles, some challenges, but I have to be resilient and get on my feet and really move forward.
Right. Right.
And another obstacle would be like finding the team, building the team. I know that I need a co-founder,
Right.
To onboard on this journey.
Right.
So finding the right team, building a strong core team is something that we are doing right now.
Right.
And also funding support, getting the right mentor for you to really take off, and providing guidance along the way as well.
Right.
Another obstacle would be, I think the whole ecosystem as a whole is still very new. In order for a startup to survive, having a very robust ecosystem is very important. Between the support from the government, support from ESO, having qualified mentor, entrepreneur and resident, as well as a pool of investor.
Right.
And Cambodia is still new in the space, and I hope and I believe as well the government is working toward it, maybe by learning from other countries who has successful experience in building this whole startup ecosystem.
Right.
So a lot of challenge in this entrepreneurship journey, starting from yourself, building a core team, building a product that people love, finding a product market fit, as well as having this, robust ecosystem to really support your startup to flourish.
Right. Right.
But I still jump into the space anyway because it's the problem that I'm keen to solve. And I believe that we're also creating a lot of value here by starting FarmHero, such as like employment for the community, employment for like the core team as well as like a great impact in the society.
Right. Right. So I would say having the solution for Cambodia business in agriculture is a big thing. It can help a lot of farmers. So is there any are there times where you feel like this is it? There's not going to be any more fun for the startup, and it just might collapse for bringing the solution for the problems. Yep. Do you see anything like that?
Not yet. Maybe
Right. Okay.
Because we are still very young.
Amazing.
And I believe at this stage, I face, let's say, challenge, failure already.
Right.
But I would take failure as a lesson. A good lesson. It's a part of our everyday life already because we build, we measure, and we learn and we pivot.
Yes.
Because jumping into the space of FarmHero, I think we didn't start as a agri-tech startup that provide all agricultural equipment solution to the farmer. We start from a very small idea, we want to be no-till planter to be accessible to everyone, to every farmer. So we keep pivoting. We talk to the customer, learn from the customer, build and measure and learn throughout the journey.
Right.
So I don't think I faced that situation yet. But it's very important to be to know what you really want, the goal, and work your way toward it and keep pivoting so that eventually you will build a product that people love.
Right. Yeah, it's good that you bring tractor and the other business operation into Cambodia with all of those people. So in order to bring the tech into the agricultural side, you need a good team, a strong team, right? So how do you formulate those team? Of course, you need intelligence and resources and capital, all of that stuff. So how do you do it?
I think initially at the very first stage, when it was still an idea, I know that I need a tech co-founder. So the key is to find someone who has the tech knowledge, has experience in development, and also someone that you can work with as well. And currently, my co-founder, also the CTO, we started entrepreneurship and innovation together. So let's say we have a strong foundation and also a strong bond to work together already, and the skill that are complementary to one another. So that's the key thing. And I believe there are also solo entrepreneurs, but that is very hard. It's very hard to me. And so I know myself that okay, I need someone in the tech space. So that let's say the initial stage. But then to build a startup, you need a team, like a strong core team. So you need to identify what are the key roles that you need in your startup. So we start recruiting more team members as well. And it's important to know, let's say, what are the roles that we need, what kind of skill that complementary to our team. For example, we have a salesperson that works in Mall. So he is someone who is passionate about agriculture sector, talking to farmers, talking to equipment owners, and so on. And we also recently recruit a few interns to come into our core team as well. And what we were looking into is someone who is passionate to learn, coding, be able to do multiple things at the same time, like having multiple skills, because we really wanna, like we have limited resource, but the intern himself, they also want to learn, and that's a right match for the intern and also the startup. Because we bring them more knowledge, more tasks, so that they can improve themselves, but at the same time they also contribute to the startup.
How do you keep the vision within the team? Like, how do you create the leader for yourself and everyone that work inside FarmHero?
So first of all, like before joining the team, there's some quality that we look into. One is whether they have the same vision, wanting to solve the problem for the farmer. They are passionate about it. Having the right skill and mindset, and also the skill set to contribute to the team. So they need to have this foundation first. Secondly, we allow the team to set their expectation. For example, what do you expect to learn from FarmHero within this 3 months of internship? And then we will work it out together of what kind of tasks they can do. So eventually, like both of us will achieve the same goal. So that's one key thing. And the third thing is keep communicating to your team of the progress, what you do to keep them excited, like involve them in most of the aspects of FarmHero as well.
So with example, if how do you prepare them with the upcoming problems in FarmHero as a startup? Example, if you want to solve a different problem for the people in agricultural site, so how do you tell them and say, here is the problem and we're gonna solve it together, here we're gonna do this and do that?
So as a startup, we focus only, like we lane on one lane and perfect it before expanding. So when we start, there is this one problem that we have to solve, and we are currently building our prototype, building our MVP, test it with the farmer, and iterate. So we are not really focusing on multiple problems at the same time, only one problem, build the prototype, get the feedback so that we can eventually build the product. Not sure if I answered your question.
Yes.
It's only one problem that we're trying to solve, and it's huge already.
So it related to with the farmer at the other side,
It's about bringing affordable agricultural equipment services for the farmer and building the right platform as well as the right business model. So we're still learning about the business model as well as like the right product that fit for the farmer.
Do you see any future hinge of problem within the industry, the agricultural industry, and with the farmer as well?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I think like our future current,
Right.
there's also current challenge already.
Right.
Like, okay, one of the common question that I get, how can you encourage the farmer to use the product, like the digital product? Because there has been other startup that try to do that as well. So it is very common.
Right.
Most of the farmer are from like 30 to majority like 30, 40 to 16 or 17 years old. So it's hard for them to learn a new skill.
Right.
So we introduced this innovative business model by introducing the booking agent into the model. Which means instead of farmer doing the booking or create the booking on their own, they can go to the booking agent in the village.
I see.
Ask the booking agent to do the booking for
them.
For them.
I see. Okay. You receive I would say, do you receive any like feedback that saying FarmHero would be a great choice for Cambodia in the future within the industry?
There are a lot of, let's say, positive feedback, also support from like the INGO, like Swiss Contact.
Right.
We signed a strategic partnership with Swiss Contact.
Yep.
We also work with people on the ground, such as like the PDAF, and a lot of momentum in this agricultural space.
Right.
That people talk about FarmHero.
Right.
But to me and to us, we are trying to, like, one of our main goal right now is building the product market fit. It's a situation where people use your product and tell your neighbors about it, their neighbors about it.
Right.
So we're trying to achieve that product market fit. So even though there are this positive momentum, but we want to really focus first on building product for our customer. So we can't say it will be a success yet.
Yes.
Yes, we're on the way, working toward it.
Right. Do you plan to create another segment of business that similar to FarmHero that would support it to achieve your future success?
I think we can venture into other revenue stream.
Right.
But might be something that you're asking right now.
Yes.
So we're already thinking, okay, what kind of revenue stream that we can tap into while building this current revenue stream. But as I mentioned, we want to at least perfect what we're trying to do first before venturing into another revenue stream. So we are at a very early stage.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I would say bringing another segment into the agricultural sector, and which also help FarmHero, can be a huge success to help all the farmer in Cambodia. And even though I would say agricultural sector is still developing, it developed fast within Cambodia, and I would say there's many resources to be used. So yeah, thank you. So yes, Bong, what advice do you have for entrepreneurs that want to have a startup in Cambodia in the future, and current as well? Yes.
I think, I would not advise for everyone to become an entrepreneur. But if you are inclined to be an entrepreneur,
Yep.
First of all, I think make sure you equip yourself with the right skills and knowledge first to have a very strong foundation.
Right.
And also the right mindset to start a startup, as well as to minimize the risk of starting one, because there are a lot of uncertainty. It is a very tough journey being an entrepreneur.
Right.
So equip yourself with the right knowledge and skill, or keep learning, get a very qualified mentor to support you on this journey. But despite all of this, negative connotation that we associate, like uncertainty and risk when it comes to startup or entrepreneurship, I would say being an entrepreneur itself is a rewarding journey, because you are able to solve the problem that you are passionate about. You are able to create value for the people in your community, in the society, as well as creating employment for the society as well.
Right, right. What do you say to those that don't have like many team or collaboration? They are solo, like you said earlier. Yeah. What do you have for them?
I would encourage. I really encourage to have a team. Like even if you start one on your own, like being the solo founder, but still, eventually you have to recruit people into your team.
Right.
Right. And just make sure to choose the right team, because one of the key reasons why startup fail is also not having the right team.
Right.
You can always pivot your business model, change your business model or pivot, but changing a core team is very hard.
Right, right. Okay.
So it's very important to start with
A strong team. Right. I want you to look into the university site for students. So what are the things that for you commonly seen as a mistake that they would make when they create a startup?
When you don't get the problem solution fit, forget about product market fit.
Right, right. I see. Yeah, a student. I would say not just a student, but also me. I would say people should be the first priority that you should look into, right? Because they are people oriented and business regarding all of the partnership and organization, all stuff like that. So, what is the first step that you would tell the student to do when, like, to get all the resources to begin their startup?
Before building a product,
Yeah.
find a problem first.
Mm.
And you can find the problem from the people,
Right.
which is your target customer.
Right.
So most of the people would jump to the solution. And that is the, let's say, it's
That's
the
right.
right or wrong move, because eventually you have to find a problem solution fit and product market fit.
Right.
But when you start with who and finding the problem of that who, the group of people, you have a high chance of getting success.
Right.
So talk to your customer, potential customer, talk to the people in the value chain to understand who really has the problem, who really has this hairs on fire problem.
Right. Right.
Don't jump into the solution and
Right.
keep it, let's say keep the solution open, because there could be multiple solutions for a single problem.
Right.
Right? So first define your problem clearly.
I see. What do you say to, so example, if they just have a startup already, right, and everything work out really great, what are the risks that you may think they might face in the future, even though they are working great right now?
I think they should advise me because I'm at a very early stage.
Right.
But if everything is working well, I mean, there is this technology S-curve,
Right.
right? When at some point you will reach
The peak.
So you need to keep innovating in order to stay relevant in the market.
Right.
So there's always thing to do. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on your competitor.
Right.
And yeah.
I see. How about the market fit that you talked about earlier? So, at what stage do you say to those who have startup that they can actually look into the market at the big side? Because in my experience and also with my friend as well, they have a startup and it's good to have like a big dream, but sometimes they miss like what's like in front of them, like myopia, and so they start to look really long distance into what they can succeed, but it's like too much for them. So what is your advice to them to actually start looking like what in front of them? Yeah.
I think usually like when you're really into the startup, I think it's not just your friends or your problems. Me myself as well.
Right.
We're really into the system, so we get lost into. I mean, like we get lost into the daily operation as well as seeing what is next.
Right.
I think it's important to hold each other accountable
Mm-hmm.
and really focus on the present right now.
Right.
So unless you lane on one lane, perfect it, and then you can scale.
Mm-hmm.
And keep focus on your customer.
I see.
Like talk to your customer whether they like your product or not, what kind of feedback that they have, and then you can iterate and improve your product.
Right.
But it's good to, at least have this end game in mind, like what you wanna achieve,
Right.
so that you have the motivation to work on these current moment. But of course, have to hold each other accountable, come back to like the present, so that you can, build something that people want, can scale it up, and also reach out to a mass market.
Right. Back to FarmHero, what stage of business do you think you're in right now? Startup.
Currently, we are helping out. We have our MVP, and so there are some traction, which means like people already purchase the service to FarmHero.
Right.
But we're still like learn from our customer, so that we know what kind of, let's say, a full-fledged product that we can build for our customer.
I see.
So
Okay.
we don't really start with building the product like a full-fledged app, wasting the money. But rather we start with MVP, like the need lean, get the feedback, iterate, and build the product.
Right.
So at a very early stage.
Okay. Do you have any plan to collab with university or school in education sector to help teach the student about this business and also in the agricultural side as well?
I think what we can collaborate with university would be like the apprenticeship or internship program, because I think that's how we can support one another in
Right.
start with human resource,
Right.
and also the student they want their hands-on experience.
Right.
So if there are any school or any student that are interested in doing internship in FarmHero, we are also welcome. As long as we have the open position.
Right. I see. Okay. Student, I would say when they look into a startup, they usually see tech startup, not much of I would say agricultural startup. But for me, it's actually surprising that your business startup FarmHero is actually starting good and is rising fast with many collaboration, and I just hope that in the future you would keep this momentum and with any challenges just try to face with the startup. Thank you everyone for listening to our second episode of the podcast Find Yourself Through Entrepreneurship. Thank you, Bong SorkunThika. I would say many people would learn a lot from your story behind a FarmHero, and they would learn many advice from you to face with startup. Yep. And lastly, I want to say thank you. Big appreciation to our sponsor Indomilk, Indomie, and Aruna for sponsoring us. Thank you.